Good morning and welcome to Fiber Town. This is episode 96. It is January 22nd, 2015. Hello everybody. I'm Emily, if you haven't met me before. On Ravelry, I'm Chain of Fools. And on Instagram, I am Fibertown with an R-E. And I'm also Fibertown like that on my blog at fibertown.blogspot.com. And let's see, there's a Rav group. I'm on iTunes and YouTube. And I also embed the podcast in my Rav group. So if you want an easy way to find it, just go there, click on it. This is Alice. She says hi, and I have some cookies over here, so she's kind of fixated. Alice, you want some more cookies? Yes, you do, don't you? Okay. You sit down. You shake. Good girl. All right, so hi. I hope you all are very well. I've got a lot going on in Fibertown, and I want to share it with you guys. So, settle in and let's talk. Let's talk fibery stuff. And Alice is like, let's talk cookies. Ooh, now we're gonna get belches. Okay, so there's an FO of the month thread on the Rav group, and this month you get a double entry if you finish a sweater. There's my pile of sweater pieces. So, it's kind of, you know, whatever I feel like I need to be working on, that's what's going to get the double entry in the month. So let's talk about the sweater first. First, I'm going to have to give this dog the rest of her cookies. Otherwise, she will drive us insane. Here, go over there. Okay, so my Party Mix by Julia Farwell Clay. Here is the printout from Knitty. And this is designed to make use of your handspun. And it's kind of crazy. So free pattern, and I like the pattern very much. I think it's going to be a crapshoot for me as to whether it fits well. We'll see soon. Yeah, I like the way the pattern is written and so forth. One thing I wish was more detailed is the schematic. There's some measurements I would like to know that aren't on there. So, schematic, it's all in the schematic. So here's what I have so far. And oh, isn't this nice? So handspun, mills. Well, this is a mixture. And this is handspun. So this week, what have I completed? I just finished a sleeve. There it is. This is a mixture of two different handspuns. And you can see as I started working back and forth for the sleeve cap, I got a lot more striping. I tried to do some color management, but the desire to get the thing finished got the better of me. So there's one sleeve done. It hasn't been blocked. I think it's going to be a lot longer once it is. I had to fudge some numbers here. So here it is. I think it's plenty long enough, but I had to fudge some numbers as far as this sleeve. So I cast on 50 stitches, which was plenty big. And of course I can't put this on. It is still a little bit belled when I cast on 50 stitches, which I like. But it's not as crazy belled out as it was last week. You're all done. There's no more. I hear you sniffing around here. So that sleeve is done. I'm happy with it. I've got the other sleeve progressing here. And I'm knitting these on my US 9, what is that? You know, is that 5.5 millimeter? I think so. These are Carbon's double points, and the size, I haven't had them that long, and it just rubs right off. Boo. But yeah, these are 9s, and I have to say, here, I'm gonna knit around. You guys can hear. It's like knitting with wind chimes. Hear that? Of course, I don't have the 5th one in here. Just knitting with 4. When you get that 5th one in there, it's even more wind chimey. They're very noisy. Where was I knitting on these? And I was thinking somewhere. Oh, it was at a piano lesson. And I was thinking, they're too noisy. And I was across the room and the piano was playing half the time. So I went down to 4 instead of 5, and it does quiet it a bit. But I like them. My gauge is, I'm finding fairly loose with these needles. It's interesting. I tend to be a tight knitter, but not with the Carbon's these big DPNs, the bigger sizes. Hear that wind chimey noise? At any rate, so this is 2 types of hand spun for the sleeves. It is a Pulver silk blend that I dyed and spun. And then this is also a Polworth silk that I dyed and spun. And I dyed this at my dye class at Dragonfly Studios a number of years ago. 2.5, almost 3 years. So there's the front. You've all seen this before. Probably my favorite piece. Then I have the side panels, which were also finished before, and everything is blocked. And then this is what another thing I finished this week. This is the back, and it has been blocked. It's long. So the side panels, they look pretty, the back and front panels are pretty small, narrow-ish, but the side panels tend to fill them out. So I ran out of Cascade Eco Wool right around, see where that is? That tail hanging out? Right here. Now you're saying, what did you knit the rest of it with? Because it looks like the exact same color. I knit the top part of this out of some Jacob handspun. It was an exact color match. Now, it was not exact construction. I held the Jacob double. So I was knitting with a 4-ply now, rather than the 2-ply that the Cascade Eco is, because I have 2 2-plies of the Jacob. So I held a double, so it was like knitting a 4-ply, and I was worried that this would be proportionally too big at the top. I don't think it is. Might have been slightly bigger than the Cascade Eco, but it works. It's in the back, it's at the top. So, yay for not exactly winning the yarn chicken, but beating yarn chicken at its own game. So there's the back. So basically, I am 1 sleeve away from seaming this sweater and having a new sweater. That is going to happen by the end of the weekend, for sure. Oh, hi. So, yay for a new sweater. I can't wait to see what it fits like. Because really, I don't know. Gauge was so complicated with this mix of yarns and yeah, hi. You have been fed enough. So that is the party mix. You know, I have nothing else in my hands. She's licking my hands. Thank you. So I have my Ictarine, which with all the party mix love, excuse me, with all the party mix love, there's been very little done on this. I don't know, maybe 4 rows. Hand spun Cormo though. Great stuff. Do you like it? She doesn't like it. Do you like it? Yeah, she likes it. That's out of the Curls book by Hunter Hammerson. And I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to finish that. It's going to be my mission to finish as soon as I'm done with the party mix. Cast on something new because I went to see The Hobbit and I needed a sock. Turned out I couldn't knit at all during The Hobbit. So sad. It was good. So I'm knitting a new pair of socks, and the yarn is by Wandering Wool. This is the North Country sock in the rainbow colorway. This is from Joelle. She did a giveaway. Thank you, Joelle. And when I saw that Suburban Stitcher, Diane from the Suburban Stitcher podcast, was doing a rainbow along, and you could cast on now if you wanted, I got this out, and I cast this one on. And these are some of my Chinese eBay needles, Jinquei, and it's US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters, and I'm magic looping, because that's pretty good for movie knitting. So it's a really nice yarn, and you can see that it's a solid, but you've got a little variation, and this is looking so pink. I promise you, it's red. It's red. You've got a little variation of a bit of white spots, but not too much. And it's like that all the way through. I don't even know. That must be some dye technique I'm not sure about. So it's going to be more like a rainbow gradient rather than self-striping. And then if you pull from the middle, you get a second go around of the rainbow. So that's that. It's really fun. It's not getting a ton of action because... And then my other work in progress, my last one is, as always, the sock yarn blanket. this got a lot of attention this week. Let me show you. Got a lot of hand spun squares this week, and the first one is some Gourmet Stash. This is the Invisibility Cloak. You can see some of the sparkle there. I've been calling it Resurrection Stone. I don't know why. Confused. Invisibility Cloak. This is a Neapolitan. I can't remember the name of this sock yarn. Neapolitan-ish, this one. But I knit socks. It's a MCN blend. So it has cashmere in it. Here's another hand spun, again, Gourmet Stash from the Hollows and Horcruxes. I have 10 of these this week. This is hand spun Finn. It's a lamb. It's from a lamb, and I got this from Finnegan's Flock. This was my very first woolen spun ever. And this is what started. I remember the afternoon I discovered, oh boy, we got toys again. This is the afternoon I discovered how to spin woolen. And what fun I had. And I love how it's sort of kissing the hand spun Cormo square. They love each other. I do adore Finn wool. I would have to say it's one of my favorites. And the lambs is very soft. So this is an Italian sock yarn, and now I learned how to knit backwards this week, and this is one of the ones where I did so. I forgot to slip the stitches on this side. That's what gives you the nice edge for picking up stitches for the next squares. And my gauge knitting backwards is very, very loose. I mean, I'll show you in another one, it's even more apparent. This is from my friend Amy, and she's living in Belgium right now, and this is one of those My First Regia, those tiny skeins for making baby socks. And she made socks for her son Will out of that, and she gave me the scraps. This one is Lollipop Yarns. I can't remember the colorway name. This is, oh gosh, this is from Montana, and it's plant dyed. And I knit backwards on this one too, and it's quite big. This was from Swenstee, and I really enjoyed knitting with it. This is, hang on, this is another Gourmet Stash handspun square from Hollows and Horcruxes, and it's brown, can't really tell, brown and cream. And then this is a Hazelnuts. I designed my, my first sock pattern. What's it called? Herbaceous, my herbaceous socks. And this one was knit backwards, and it's just very, I mean, look at it compared to the squares around it. I even have another square knit regular out of this that's much smaller. Yeah, here it is. See it right there? So compare the two. Can't. It's just much bigger and floppier. I don't know if I'll be using that technique a whole lot. I'm not loving my gauge. Who knew? Hi. Hi, miss. Did you bring your toy? She brought her toy up. I'm driving my car. I'm driving my car. Oh, my steering wheel in my mouth. Does it smell good? All right. Spinning, I have done very little this week, but I did start some sampling of Yogurt's fleece. Yogurt is a Corriedale Romney Border Leicester cross. Got Yogurt at Maryland Sheep and Wool last year. There's a little nest of Yogurt's combed fleece, and I've spun one bobbin. I'm gonna try a 4-ply. I'm gonna sample a 4-ply. So let's see. Fairly thin. Some slubs here and there. That's a bad one. It's probably as bad as it gets, slub-wise. But yeah. So this was not the thinnest setting on my wheel. It was the second one up. And when I talked about suddenly having a eureka moment about my bobbins, this is what I was talking about. Typically, I put the Scotch tension on this groove, and it's a bigger groove, so you're going to make a bigger yarn. And I was using smaller whorls. But then I was like, wait a minute, by that principle, I should be putting my Scotch tension band on this groove and getting even smaller or thinner yarn. So that's what I did. So thin Scotch tension, but the second to smallest whorl. That's how I spun this. So that's it for spinning. No spindle spinning this week. I tend to do more of my spindle spinning in the summer. Don't know why. I spin a lot on my wheel in the summer too, but I think it has to do with traveling. I really love to spindle when I travel. I have a crazy thing on my Cricut loom, and I'm going to show you a picture of it on my phone because there's no way that thing is coming over here. Oh boy. Am I going to show you a picture? All right. I know I put it on Instagram because I kind of put everything on Instagram. All right, here's an example. Of course, it's taking forever to load. Is it going to load? Is it going to load? Look at that. It's not loading. Here we go. Oh, here. Okay. It is the craziest plaid you've ever seen. And I am so enjoying it. I'm just using all scraps that are just taking up space, and they stress me out and I want them gone. And I know that this is going to be sort of a learning experience for as a weave goes. So I won't be sad if I screw it up with all these yarns. And then I can try out different things. I tried a lot of clasped weft. I have to make a concerted effort to get my weaving terms correct because I screw them up all the time. I'm going to weave on that today, and hopefully it'll be off the loom next week, and you guys can see how nutty it is. Now, it's a Sayori style, so basically whatever inspires you, color-wise, texture-wise, technique-wise, you just do it. Now, I have one already, and it's draped over my piano. I have an inherited baby grand. It used to be a lower school music room piano, so it's full of excellent karma of all children learning to enjoy music. It's beat up as all get out. It has water stains, teacher put a cup of coffee on there. Probably somebody spilled something on it. So I have it covered, and I plan to do more weaving like this and have it cover my piano. And yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's crazy. So that will be added to the collection. So that's, oh my gosh, that's it. We're 17 and a half minutes in. I have a dog in my lap, chewing on her steering wheel. Oh, yeah, this. I forgot to show you this. This is, I mentioned the fin in my blanket. Where are you, Finn? This is the first fin I ever spun. Seriously? I know you're there somewhere. There it is. The fin in my blanket. I wanted to show you, I think this predates the podcast because tomorrow is my 2-year podcasting anniversary. Yay me. Oh, hang on, sorry. Alice is wearing my color affection. Okay, this is my color affection, also known as my gray. Oh, sorry. That's a piece of Kleenex. Also known as my breed affection. And yes, it's all gray. I know a lady who likes that. So this is the same fin as my blanket, is in my blanket. It's so nice. So this is the color affection by Vera Valimaki, and I got teased a lot for making a color affection in grays. So we have Finn, then this dark gray charcoal is Jacob, and then this white is a Romney. And it's really lovely. And it's like a breed study in a shawl. Finn, Jacob, Romney. And it's squishy, soft. I still don't know how to best wear it. This is another shawl I wear to bed. Just haven't quite figured out the styling. I know there are ways to do it, but I've even watched a video, but then I forget. Just doesn't stick with me. Nope. All right, so up and coming. Well, this is sort of already in progress, but I have to show you. My husband is knitting. I convinced him to be my guinea pig for my fiber camp, and I'm trying out some of my teaching ideas on him. He's doing really well. He's knit 2 rows of ribbing. I knit the rest. This is going to be a hat, and he picked the yarn. It's a Donegal tweed, Taki Donegal tweed, and it's much less olivey in real life than that. So I think I'm going to do the rest of the ribbing for him to speed up the process, because I already tried out my ribbing teaching techniques with him. And then, he only has time to do it on the weekends, but that's fun. And he's like, ooh, he got into the ribbing, and he said, can I do a whole hat in ribbing? I was like, yes, you could. It's your knitting. You can do whatever you want. Hi, I really appreciate being sat upon. Okay, I can't read my notes. Oh, another up and coming in the Minerva Turkey podcast, which is a great podcast. I'm going to participate in my very first, is that the mail? I'm going to participate in my very first swap in the Minerva Turkey podcast, and it's for mini skeins. More for like the barn raising square, which I still technically am doing, but I plan to make that mostly a travel knitting, car knitting, travel knitting, event knitting kind of thing. Because when I'm home, I like to be working on the scrap blanket. And I'm ahead on my square a day. I think it's, the 22nd today, and I have 24 or 25 squares knit. I think I'm going to count a couple days for weaving in ends. The other up and coming is the Hudson Valley podcast, Hudson Valley Knits. She's having another senior along this year, but she's structuring it a bit differently, at least part of it. I think she's still doing her washcloth collections. Alice likes it when you massage her dent. The dent right there. So I'm adopting a senior, and I'm going to knit something for that senior, or several things, and communicate with them throughout the year. Send them a card, a letter, a postcard. Yeah. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I lost my grandma this year, and I miss her. So that will help. So a couple new podcasts, and then I'm going to say see you next time. So let's see, the Dairyland Knits podcast. Okay, and I don't remember any of these people's names because my brain. So Dairyland Knits, he is so cute and so funny. Really enjoyed watching that one episode I watched, and I am on the lookout for another one. Round the Twist with Karen is back. It's not on iTunes, but I've been watching it on her blog. Round the Twist with Karen. It is CARIN.blogspot.com. So it was great to see her back. She was one of the first podcasts I watched. And she's got 2 babies now. And then the third that I discovered this week was the TV Knitting podcast. And she's lovely. And she's got gorgeous knitting, gorgeous spinning, and a nice flow to her podcast. And I'm looking forward to more of her episodes as well, because I hear that she and her husband do sort of a cocktail section sometimes. So looking forward to that. And, the fiber camp stuff. I am really looking forward to it. On Saturday, I got things finalized. And I started buying stuff on this weekend. I get $100 a student, but that has to feed them for 4 days too. So, I'll show you the stuff as it comes in. I have a box full of Stitch and Bitch books, because that's going to be part of their package. So far I have their journals from Seashore Sharon, and then I have their books. They will also get a spindle, an Ashford student spindle, which is just under $10. Malabrigo, a skein of Malabrigo worsted. I have taught a couple people to knit on Malabrigo worsted, and it's so fun to knit. It feels so good. It's not expensive. It's about $11.60, I think is how much I paid. And it feels great. It's a single, yes, but it's fold enough that it holds together pretty well. And it makes a really nice feeling finished object. I got them each a little packet of soak. And then of course needles. I got my needles from Knit Picks, which I've never done. I got a mixture of the Caspian wood and the rainbow wood, and then a set of a 7 and an 8. So the brim of the hat, the body of the hat, and then I got them size 8 double points for the top. So those will be theirs to keep. And then I have fiber here. I did buy a braid of fiber from Corgi Hill Farms. I bought a braid of Targhee. And based on I sent a questionnaire asking about their favorite colors. And that's how I picked the Malabrigo. And that's how I picked the braid of fiber. And I'm thinking that we're just going to break up the braid of fiber and they can spindle their portion of it. And it's called Weeping Angels. And so a Doctor Who reference. I bet there's going to be a geek or two in the group. And then we'll see what we'll do with that. Maybe we'll do the weaving with it. So I might have them weave with scraps again, like I've been doing. So yay! I will show you the things as they come in, and there might be something I've left out. Needles, soak. I have to work on the bags. I need bags for them, and I'm thinking I'm just going to get canvas bags from a craft store. So, because I don't have much budget left. So I've spent about $65 per kid on materials. So, excellent. Alice and I. Are you about to take a nap? Yeah, she's tired. Alice and I are going to say goodbye then. And we hope that you have a very, very nice week. And take care. Bye-bye.